that's point of the mountain where they go hang gliding.
No, point of the mountain's that way, Trish.
Oh, it's that way?
Yeah.
Come on,
I'm
California.
I'm so confused. Okay.
Embarrassing us. Just don't talk.
That's downtown Salt Lake City right there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Downtown Salt Lake City?
Yeah, so we're looking north.
Okay.
So Olympus is kind of right
Hey,
above.
welcome to the Snowbird Friday vlog, and I am on the Bells Canyon Trail because Secret Lake is closed. The road to Secret Lake. So you can hike from the bottom of Alta, but that's too much and too muddy. And so we're doing Bells Canyon at the bottom of Little Cottonwood. And so there's the valley down below us. And then there's the trailhead. And then just right over here to the side is the reservoir. I don't know if you can see, there's a little lake right over there. This is gorgeous. And maybe that's a better view of the reservoir. Reflecting so much of the foliage that you almost can't even tell from this angle. But
Yeah,
It looks like a Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah, right? Multi-hyphen it. You can be a lot of different things. I just love how this little low ground cover looks so soft. If you were a moose, you'd want to lay down there.
So we hiked, was it last year we saw a moose when we went on the, was that White Pine Trail?
White pine or red pine, yeah.
Red Pine?
So yeah, it's the White Pine Trailhead,
And then
you go up. There's Gloria Falls is like at the junction,
Yeah.
and then at that point it splits and there's the White Pine. But yeah, Colorado seems cool, but the skiing's not as good in Colorado. They think it is. Oh, and I love pointing it out to them that it's not. I'm so mean about it. But Utah just has like really special skiing. Like I still haven't really found anywhere else that's better.
many different kinds of environments there are.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Good.
Enjoy your hike.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
Getting every word you're saying.
Yeah, I wondered that all the run. It was like, and they're kind of like chubby bodies and stuff, and so it was just like very funny to watch it, just like tumbling head over heels. And I was like, oh no! And then he just popped up and was like, no, they're pretty sizable. They're like the size of like a beaver, basically.
Okay, that's good.
And like you'll see some of them are smaller, but definitely like up at Alta, you see some that are like the size of a small dog, basically. Like,
Oh, wow.
and they're really cute. They got their fur on their stomachs is yellow. They're called yellow-bellied marmots, and they're a delightful little animal. They squeak a lot.
Sorry, you didn't have to wait for me.
No,
We're not waiting for you.
Mine was work-related.
oh, they got you.
Still working.
They got you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, it's already on the engineer?
So
Programmer.
I'm kind of ambidextrous, right brain, left brain.
Okay.
So I'm not good enough with science or art to be created either.
That's the kind of thing those two people do. Film rocks falling down.
Yeah. Okay, this is the top of Bells Canyon Lower Falls. We could hike up to the ridgeline too, but this is definitely the most challenging hike I've ever been on in my life, and there's a lot of good vertical here. You are almost rock climbing, almost scrambling, not quite. So I'm kind of looking forward to, but not looking forward to, the hike back down. We'll see how it goes. I'm not 100% spent. I still have something in the tank. All right. Downhill's definitely easier, but it's not much easier.
It's not, yeah, it's not a whole different thing, but it is, it's, you just don't get the lungs hurting, and it's nice to not have the lungs hurting, but it's pretty hard on your legs.
So yeah, just kind of switchbacks up to the lower reservoir, and then up behind that, up into there. All right, I'm gonna finish up in the steam room because this is, like I said, this is my favorite thing to do here, and see all the pine trees and stuff outside beyond the pool, and then you can see the pool, and then you can see the hot tub. It's all just very beautiful. We hiked, instead of Secret Lake, we hiked this morning Bell Canyon, which ended up being about 5.5 miles, and we ascended and then descended 1,430 feet, 1,430 feet. Now, if it had been a smooth trail, that would have been probably a lot more doable, but there was a lot of boulders and rocks on the trail, and there was a lot of careful navigation, and even the descent took a lot out of me. So, but it was gorgeous. If I'd known what it was going to be like to try and get up to the falls and then back down again, I probably might have sat this one out today, because it was just a little, well, it was a lot outside my comfort level, but it was a little outside my skill level. I really had to push myself. But I kept thinking about something that the 1984 gymnasts were talking about. They had a Japanese coach at UCLA, and he always went around saying the mind quits long before the body does. So when your mind gives up, that's when you can't go any farther. But as long as you think there's hope, as long as you can see the goal, your mind can be convinced that your body will be able to do what it needs to. Having done challenging hikes in the past, I knew I would be okay as long as I found the right gear, as long as I downshifted. So I was probably about 20 minutes behind the rest of the group by the time we ended up. And I was gonna go back to the room and take a nap. First I front loaded on some ibuprofen and protein, drank a lot more water, and then I had a movie on while I was, had HBO on while I was eating, getting ready to take my nap. And it was the end of Green Lantern. And then, it ended the way I remembered it. So I knew that was the movie I'd seen. But it was a pretty good movie for me. I never read the Green Lantern comic books, so maybe I don't have enough context to know whether it was a good or bad adaptation. And then right after that, I saw that Heretic was playing. This is the Hugh Grant movie where he plays cat and mouse with a couple of Latter-day Saint sister missionaries. And so, I wanted to see it because I wanted to see if Hugh Grant could actually pull off a different character other than Hugh Grant. But I would say no. For the most part, he still played Hugh Grant. He's very charming and debonair, even when he's trying to be sinister. But that was good casting for this movie. It was rated R, but not for the reasons I was thinking it might have been rated R. It was only rated R for violence, which, as we've discussed in the past, is more tolerable for Americans than for Europeans, whereas sex is more tolerable for Europeans than for Americans, just based on our history. The first two acts were plausible and elegant, well constructed, I thought. The pitch was solid, but the actual behavior of the sisters and the one elder with no companion that they sent to go looking for the sisters smacked a little bit of, we know something about the church, but not enough to be convincing. So I heard that both of the actresses were raised in the church, but I also know from living in Utah that that's a big spectrum. There are various levels of activity and of comprehension and of doctrine. And since they both say they're from Ogden and Salt Lake, there's also some Utah culture that I think was maybe assumed and fabricated. And it's funny because at the end of the movie it says no generative AI was used for making this movie, which I feel like they used some kind of AI maybe to try and round out the characters. But I thought the characters were compelling. They just weren't quite accurate. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to know about it before you watch it, if you're planning on watching it, maybe skip to the end of this. All right. Spoiler alert. One of them is going to die, and then it turns out that he has a whole basement full of girls, of young women of sister missionary age, that they never explain how they got there. And that is a big plot point for me, because if they're supposed to be sister missionaries themselves, they're gonna have gone missing over the years, and that just doesn't, that's not how it works when you're a missionary. So he had to have gotten them, recruited them from other belief systems. His pitch was elegant. It was basically every religion is an iteration of the one that came before it, and he used monopoly and what came before it and what came after it as an example to talk about the scriptures from Torah to Bible to Quran and then to Book of Mormon, which fortunately he did place on top of the Bible and in the Christianity row of his presentation. And then he compared, let's see, mainstream Christianity to the original Monopoly that was a ripoff of the landlord game, which he compared to Judaism. Okay, fine, fair premise. His one true religion is control. Controlling other people, how they behave, how they think. That's a fair premise. It's an interesting concept, and it's a fair premise. But it does ignore one gaping thing, which, if anyone who had worked on this movie with any degree of control over the script and the editing had been an active member of the restored Church of Jesus Christ, they would know that what we believe is that we have had our restored religion revealed by God to Joseph Smith. And it is what God revealed to Adam in the first dispensation of time. And then what God, okay, hang on. Now I'm gonna say end of spoiler alert. End of spoiler alert. Over here, just so gorgeous. And then we have a fitness room right in there. Okay, so this is the back side of the steam room. Every dispensation of time has had the one true religion revealed to the head of that dispensation. So what God and Jesus Christ revealed to Joseph Smith was what God revealed to Adam. And then there was an apostasy. And then there was a restoration, and it's what God revealed to Enoch. And then there was an apostasy, and then there was a restoration, and it's what God revealed to Noah. And then there was an apostasy, and then there was a restoration, and then it's what God revealed to Abraham. And then there was an apostasy, and then there was a restoration, and then it's what God revealed to Moses. And then there were several apostasies throughout the rest of the Old Testament and restorations, Josiah being the most notable. So that was a kingly restoration, but I don't think anyone actually had priestly authority by that point when Josiah came online. So what was restored in the dispensation of the meridian of time was restored through John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. Now, John the Baptist had true Levitical and even Aaronic descendancy. He should have been the high priest by lineage, but so he should have had the high priest by rights, but by that point, Judea had been conquered so many times by empires, Assyrian, Babylonian, Hellenic, and finally Roman. So when Herod was sitting on the throne, he had purchased his kingship through Roman favor. And Annas, the high priest, had purchased his high priesthood. And everyone in the Sanhedrin was not actually authorized to perform the rites by that point. A lot of apostasy and restoration. I'm gonna go back into the steam room now. And get some fresh steam in here. All right. So as I said, spoiler alert is over. I won't tell you any more about the movie, but so the dispensation of the fullness of times Oh, and Christ, of course, we know was the rightful heir to the throne of David, which didn't even exist because of Roman occupation. All right, it's now 8:30 Saturday morning. Guys out there pulling the cover off the pool. We have to be checked out by 10, and so I'm gonna get one last steam in, and then I'll give you the rest of my thoughts. Yeah. We had family game night last night, pizza and games, and so I opted to spend time with the family instead of working on the vlog, and that's okay. That's a higher priority. Jackbox games, that was fun. So we're gonna continue this back down in Salt Lake in the valley. Apologies for the delay if you were waiting with bated breath. It is now 10 o'clock. We have checked out, and I thought I would wrap up this week of awesome vlogging from Snowbird by sitting out here in the nice little smokers nook. Is the thing for the smokers. You can smell the tobacco, but for the most part.
Hey, it's Roy.
Hey, just want to show you one more thing. This used to be a tennis court, and it used to have big nets way up high all the way around it. And they've since redrawn the lines in the last few years, and now it's pickleball. And my wife and I actually played pickleball up here a few years back, and it was fun. I think we should do it more often. Pickleball rocks. But we should definitely be playing pickleball up here when we come up here. Just a thought. All right, people are shuffling behind me, getting to their cars and trying to get down the canyon, but it's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a little overcast, which makes lighting for a vlog really good. And it's been a rejuvenating week. Last year was the first year I was able to get all week off from work, and this year I did it again, and it was well worth it. We are so fortunate to have this timeshare, and it's turned into such a great family tradition, multi-generational family tradition. Week 40 or week 41, whichever week this is. Usually it's conference weekend at the start of the week. This is the best week to own timeshare at Snowbird, because the leaves are generally somewhere in that beautiful, colorful range, and it's not too cold to do a lot of hikes and stuff. It's not crowded with skiers because there's no skiing yet, and it's just a good place to get away and recharge the batteries. And I think in general, I want to talk about rest and recovery right now. Like I said, that hike took a lot out of me yesterday, so I immediately front-loaded the, as my nurse wife calls it, vitamin I, a lot of ibuprofen. I front-loaded it. I didn't wait for that to be achy, and I've kept moving and kept stretching, and I am not as stiff and sore as I was anticipating having to be, so that's good. But in general, if you're going to, especially if you're going to start weight training, strength training, if you're gonna go for muscle growth, you have got to build in extra rest and recovery. And then that also has a spiritual analog, which is you do need to feed your spirit and exercise your spirit with reading and praying in scriptures and service to others and stretching yourself spiritually. You also need to think of those things as rest and recovery opportunity, especially with regard to the Lord's Day Sunday. That is absolutely important. I mean, even if you work on Sundays, you've got to figure out some time for spiritual rest and recovery. But ideally, you know, you're taking the sacrament, you're reevaluating your life, checking in with all the aspects of your life. Anyway, I'm rested. I'm ready to go, and we'll get back on topic and make these shorter and tighter and more fun to watch. But I thought I'd give you something that you'd want to watch as far as the scenery here. Beautiful. Maybe that's the lane I should be doing this in, is the travel lane. If I traveled more, I would definitely want to vlog about it. Again, we'll see what the future holds. All right, take care, everyone. From Snowbird, this is Roy signing off for Snowbird Week. Okay, last piece of the Saturday Snowbird vlog. I came home, took a nap, put music and lyrics on, and because I needed to see some Hugh Grant. It was more joyful and fun for me, since Heretic was an awesome character for him to play, but also I needed a little palate cleanser. So it's going to be some 40-year-old Hugh Grant instead of some 60-year-old Hugh Grant.
Thanks, that's really helpful.
It doesn't have to be perfect, just spit it out. They're just lyrics.
Just lyrics. A melody is like seeing someone for the first time, the physical attraction, sex.
I so get that.
But then, as you get to know the person, that's the lyrics, their story, who they are underneath. It's the combination of the two that makes it magic. Let's go for a walk. So, why did Pop break up? I mean, Rhonda told me that you guys were friends growing up.
We were, yes. And then Colin met a new manager.
How did you deal with that?
With drugs, alcohol, and ultimately my own solo album. Rolling Stone called it a crass, contrived effort, not even good enough for a dentist's chair.
Well, I'm sure there were other reviews.
There were, but none as good as that one. And they were right, by the way. Yeah. To cut a long story short, I gave up trying to write, lost an incredible amount of money in my apartment, and suddenly they liked me again. You know, it was weird. It was like I'd never been away. Audience was a tad older, as was I, but we were very, very profoundly happy to see each other again. And went on from there. Cruises, reunions, Knott's Berry Farm, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Busch Gardens, that's one of my big fixtures of the year. What else can I tell you?
I really appreciate you opening up to me like this. I know what it's like to live with a shadow overhead.
I can't make it through without a way back into love. Oh.
You know, I'm tone deaf.
Hey, what do you think of this?
Just keep writing. Cora is leaving in an hour.
Listen, I was thinking that corners was such a better word than spaces. For in the mind, the corners of my mind rather than the spaces. It just seems to have a better boundary to it, you know? Should I speak to you about this later? Okay. It sounds so good. I can't believe it.
And now, vocals. No, you see, you have to sing into the microphone. It won't follow you.
I'm getting really nervous.
You'll be fine. You just use your normal, nice voice that I've heard so much of in the last 3 days.
It's like, my throat's closing up. It's like anaphylactic.
It's fine, it's just a 3-minute song. Just a little bit louder, because this song is intended for humans, okay? Way back into love, take 2.
I've been living with a shadow overhead.
Hopes and dreams away, just in case I ever need them again. Some space in the corners of my mind. All I wanna do is find a way back into love. I can't make it through without a way back into love.
She's gonna have a baby!
Hey, what if that were true?
Okay, stay calm.
See, you remember Alex Fletcher?
How are you? See?
Hi, Alex.
Sophie Fisher, my lyricist.
Hi, aspiring lyricist.
Yeah, go ahead, take it. Help yourself. Are we gonna do it now? Great, great. No time like the present. Very rough, just put together in my little studio. Both of us singing.
She's gonna hear my voice. It's gonna ruin
It's
it.
gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. So anyone see Battle of the 80s Has-Beens the other night? Debbie Gibson, she can take a punch, huh? Huh?
I didn't see it.
This is the song I've been looking for. I can't wait to work on it.
Congratulations, guys. Well, we got a book. Hey, it's unbelievable we got the job.
This is the scene that it was on when they just got the job. When I found out, they posted the cast list for Newsies on Facebook. So I am going to be in Newsies at Alpa in Layton. I'm going to be Teddy Roosevelt. I played Teddy Brewster in Arsenic and Old Lace once, so I kind of have some practical experience, at least playing a guy who thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt. So this will be fun. I'm excited. It was neat to have this meta moment where they got the job at the same time I got the news that I got the job. So that's always a great feeling. Now, Roy signing off for the Snowbird vlog.